Alright, so last week's brand new episode of Steven Universe was entitled Last One Out of Beach City, an obvious reference to the Less Than Jake song Last One Out of Liberty City. A fitting title, as bands and music really did make up the backbone of this entire episode. You see, as we find out, Greg was actually supposed to take Amethyst to a rock show. She was really looking forward to it, but Greg had to cancel at the last second because he had to do something else with other adults, really. I'm kind of amazed to know that Greg has friends his own age. Now, Steven and Pearl had their own evening planned, but when they see how disappointed Amethyst is, they decide that maybe they could take her to the show. This really does end up surprising Amethyst because fun, chaotic rock show and Pearl don't exactly sound like they would go hand in hand together. And yeah, that's really what Last One Out of Beach City is all about, Pearl attempting to be cool and relate to Steven and Amethyst in a way that she really hasn't before. That may sound simple at first, but that's the clever thing about this episode. It actually manages to go in a bunch of really unexpected directions. For one, the show reminds you that once upon a time in Pearl's life, she was a totally badass revolutionary guerrilla fighter battling against an evil empire. And despite her more rebellious youth, she's kind of settled down into a safe, boring, predictable, kind of domestic role, which is interesting when we stop and consider that back on the homeworld, Pearls were domestic servants. The episode also makes a strong point of mentioning that even though Pearl fought for the safety of Earth during the Gem War, she never really seemed to interact with Earth all that much, let alone humans. And the few humans she did interact with, she wasn't exactly the biggest fan of, being kind of standoffish with them at best, and being dismissive at worst. It's for all these reasons and more, it is super surprising when a human actually manages to catch Pearl's eye. Not just any human either, I should add, a cool pink-haired Alterna chick. Makes me think that Pearl has herself a type, right, for giant women with pink hair. A fact that in a nice bit of comedy is not lost on Steven at all, who loudly proclaims, "Yeah, that woman looks like Mom, doesn't she? Is no one else gonna mention this?" From there, the show becomes like an 80s comedy road trip movie wherein Pearl desperately wants to talk to this girl but can't work up the nerve to do it. This leads to an admittedly really awesome car chase, helped out a ton by the underplayed score that is heard through pretty much the entirety of this episode. I had a good chuckle and a good think to myself too when Pearl was running away from the cops, that, you know, because the gems feel so human, you forget sometimes, oh yeah, they're totally aliens with no paperwork, huh? And while everyone in Beach City might kind of live and let live with them, if, you know, anyone else actually found out about them, we could be in some real E.T. territory. And you know what, while I'm overthinking things here, I guess it serves mentioning, remember a couple episodes back when I found it kind of odd but also kind of interesting, the morality of Steven Universe saying, hey kids, it's alright to cheat at carnival games because those are crooked anyway, and it's okay to outrun the cops when you really have to be somewhere. Now, as you might have guessed, everything ends up shaking out for the better. Pearl comes to a realization that she shouldn't try and be something she isn't. The mystery girl just so happened to be going to the same concert, which means Pearl finally does get a chance to talk, and she's even won over by the weird otherworldliness of Pearl. In fact, she pulls a number. Wow, does this mean this unnamed, unvoiced character could possibly return in later episodes? I think that would be really fascinating. There's a lot of avenues that could be opened up with Pearl pursuing a relationship with a human. The final thing I'll mention is Last One Out of Beach City even does something kind of interesting with the ending credits, doing like an almost Animal House homage. In summation, Last One Out of Beach City was an episode I ended up really enjoying, and while I've stated before that Amethyst might very well be my favorite crystal gem, it's hard to deny that Pearl gets the strongest episodes devoted to her. It's also pretty great to know even multiple seasons in now, they can still pull back new and compelling layers to Pearl. Great road trip action, great soundtrack, great comedy. Yep, this was a great episode. Overall, I would give this one a 9 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Kate Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.